hello again. I'm back, and once again joined by my good friend Marianne, who's planned out this entrance for you.
Ta-da!
That's amazing. Yeah.
I know. I'm just awesome like that.
Yes, you are. So, Marianne was my pony beard.
I was his pony beard.
Because for some reason I felt the need to come see this film.
And given the gaggle of small girls sitting a few rows down, it's probably a really good thing.
Yes, it was.
You would have looked so creepy.
And everybody, like, from the popcorn dude to her, are like trying to convince me, oh no, it's fine. Oh, your 40-year-old guys come see. That doesn't make me feel better. Okay? It's kind of like, I don't want to be, even if it's true and I'm not one to, like, put down where you get your pleasure in life, but I don't want to be lumped in with the rest of these guys. Anyway, so I have no fucking clue what I just saw.
We just saw My Little Pony.
Yes, I'm aware of that. I simply, in trying to formulate thoughts for this, I have no clue really where to go with it.
Okay, then I'll start.
Oh, goody.
It was better than American Assassin.
It was, yes, it was. Okay, this is a truth. It was way better than American Assassin.
Okay, so I'm a huge fan of the My Little Pony TV show. I got into it because where I work released some ponies, and I was like, oh my god, My Little Pony's coming back, because I knew about the 80s one, and I was like, okay, well, I'm just gonna watch an episode on YouTube and figure out what the big deal is. And then I watched an episode and I was like, this is awesome. So now I love it. And I have several ponies and I've seen almost every episode. I'm in the middle of season 7 on Netflix right now. But other than that, I've seen every episode. And now I've seen the movie twice. So,
and I'm just in shock there's a season 7. I didn't know.
Yeah, he's late to the party.
I knew this was a thing. I just didn't know how much of a thing it was.
It's been a thing for years.
Yeah, but man, I did not know. So I'm going to say this. The thing I will say right off the bat with it, and I said this coming out of the theater, the animation in this film is gorgeous. It is some really beautifully done animation, and the colors are very, I would assume, that kind of goes along with the whole theme. The colors are just amazing and bright and cheerful. It's,
No, it is. It's My Little Pony.
This is a hard movie for a cynic like me. Like, it really is. This is like, and it wasn't like torturous, but it's like, my soul has been crusted over so much just by the sheer darkness of life and my own just kind of weird outlook on things.
Yes, I mean, as has mine, but My Little Pony is sort of one of those things that sort of can just kind of break into your heart and wrap it in rainbows and puppies and shit,
Okay. So in the story proper, while breaking up the Friendship Festival, because this is what, they have in pony operated world. I gotta say this. No, before I even get to the plot summary, my favorite line of the film comes really early, and I guess all the towns in Ponyville have like weird horse-related pun names.
Yes.
And they're like, oh, maybe we should go down to Saddle Arabia. And I'm like, oh, that's gotta be the sucky part of Ponyville.
No, the whole place is called Equestria. Ponyville is one place.
That's where they have the carriage bombs and whatnot. Down
Dude!
in Saddle Arabia.
Don't be racist. Not cool. Ass. Anyway, while he's over here being a friggin' racist asshole, not cool. Smack again.
Gotta watch out for Saddle Arabia.
Dude, chill. Not cool. Any fucking way.
A lot of swearing in this review of a cartoon.
Well, you're with me, honey. That's what you gotta expect. I have a sailor's mouth. and I use it. That sounded so damn wrong.
Yes.
Anyway.
Yes, see, we're really off on a good. So,
yay, kids movie review.
So the Friendship Festival is disrupted by the army of the Storm King, a very vague villain.
Yeah, I'm not sure what he was supposed to be.
Yeah, is he like so I guess he's not a thing in the show?
No, I mean, usually they make it pretty clear, like, what type of creature the villain is.
Okay.
A lot of these I wasn't particularly sure about. So I'm not real... Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Okay, so it's interrupted and Equestria is taken over by the stormtroopers of the Storm King.
Sort of.
Yeah.
That's kind of true though, because Tempest was sort of like Captain Phasma.
Yeah, and they had their Darth Vader pony Tempest, who actually was a cool character. I liked.
Oh yeah, I love her.
I really liked the animation on Tempest, and the voice acting is very well done. So I really liked her. This sounds weird, but for a villain in a My Little Pony movie, she was fairly intimidating. Mm-hmm. You know, so it was like
cool.
It was like, all right, every time she was on screen, it's like, okay, I kind of dig her. So,
and she got the best song in my opinion.
Yeah. Well, you know, it's like saying the Cookie Monster is the strongest Muppet, but I mean, yeah, I'll go along with that.
No, is it the strongest Muppet, Sweetums?
Yeah, it's never. We're talking puns here, not. So anyway, the main pony, Princess Twilight, and her gaggle of friends there are sent off on one. You know, it's a typical kids adventure movie where, you know, they're kicked out of their home. They have to go on a quest to go find who's it's in a what now to go back, and they meet people and there's songs and betrayals.
Hippogriff Queen.
The hippogriff, yeah. So, you know, fairly standard, you know, kids movie stuff. And, you know, I'll say that in terms of, you know, kids movies, I mean, I've seen way worse.
Yeah.
And I've seen way more irritating.
Oh, yeah.
I did like... I liked the pink pony. She was nuts.
Pinkie Pie, yeah. She's very popular amongst males for some reason. Not like in a weird way, but she's just so fucking out there.
I think that's it. I think it's because like all the other ones, they're trying to... It felt like all the others, they're trying to give them distinct enough personalities that you can understand who they are, but there's really not much personality there, at least from an outsider point of view, seeing it for the first time. But that one, you get the personality like right away, and it's manic and crazy, and they can do some of the crazier facial expressions with the animation, you know.
Which is really funny because I've actually been likened to Pinkie Pie before because I'm so random.
You know, but I thought her jokes and whatnot were pretty funny. I liked her. The rest of them, I've got no strong... I didn't hate any of them.
I like Applejack because I'm big on honesty and she's honest.
Oh.
I think she's very practical, which I can be practical, although I am in some ways a lot more like Pinkie Pie, except in my older age I've gotten very cynical, so I suppose I am a bit more like Applejack.
The weird thing is, at least for me, is that I guess they were trying to keep the core cast of the show together.
Yeah.
Is that the one pony there, Fluttershy, I guess is what you told me.
Mm-hmm.
Like, she barely said anything. Like, I didn't even realize she was there through most of the movie until she they get captured by parrot pirates. Try saying that 3 times fast.
Parrot pirate.
All right. You know, and
you
they're
told
like,
me to.
And they're like going around, and, you know, showing all the reactions, and they show her. I'm like, who is that? Who the hell is that? Where'd she come from? You know, she had no presence up until that point. Yes.
She's very shy. She doesn't talk a whole lot.
I get that, but for an ensemble film, it'd be nice if we acknowledged her, or she had a line, or did something up until this point.
Well, she is voiced by the same actress who does Pinkie Pie.
So
and
what?
Pinkie Pie has a lot to say, so maybe they were trying to back off of Fluttershy.
They don't like make them do both voices at the same time. She can do one voice and then record the next one. It's not a problem.
Actually, as someone who is very knowledgeable of the pony world, or the woman who does the voice is named Andrea Libman. Pinkie Pie is actually a very difficult voice for her to do because it requires her to be so high. It is a strain on her throat and her voice.
Well, then it should be fine for them to give the other... They didn't have to give her a line. They had to... Someone could have, like, acknowledged her, or, like, they could have shown her do something comical during one of their mini chase scenes, but they did nothing with her until, like, that moment when, again, I was like, what the fuck horse is that? Where did that come from?
Well, she was the one conducting the birds at the beginning.
I'm sorry. At the beginning, they're all over the place. I didn't know who was what or what was who. The only one I could tell was the Rainbow Dash one because that had a very distinct name. The rest of them all blended together with the 40,000 other background ponies that you're like, okay, which one of these are going to be the ones I have to care about? So I'm just saying, once the adventure proper got started, she had no presence there until that point. Now, that being said, she did have one of the funnier parts when she's giving therapy to one of the monsters. I thought that was funny.
Usually, you would have watched the TV show before coming to see the movie, so you're just sort of an anomaly here.
Well, you know what? I got no backup for that.
Anyway, as someone who is a fan of the TV show, the animation is a little bit different than it is in the TV show, and I'm not a huge fan of it. Like
Really?
The ponies are drawn just a little bit different. No, I think it's gorgeous, but the ponies are drawn just a little bit differently in the show, and I like that look better than I liked this look.
Well, it's probably just because they had a bigger budget.
Yes, and that's what a friend of mine said, because I saw it first with somebody else. But anyway, I don't really like the way that they're drawn, but that's just me, because I'm used to the other one. There's not quite as much wit.
Yeah, I was expecting, because what made me want to go see this, and is that doing these reviews and everything, I'm always looking for something, and it goes there. I'm like, all right, fuck it. I watched the trailer, and the trailer seemed kind of funny, so I was like, all right, what the hell? Let's give this a shot. And I was a little disappointed. I mean, I give them credit for a couple things. Number one, they didn't do like a lot of kids' movies do and resort to mature humor, meaning fart jokes. They never
call that mature humor.
Well, but
immature
but
humor.
that's what they would say. Like, I remember, I saw this in one of my other reviews. I remember when Shrek came out, and everyone was going, "Oh, it's got mature humor for the adults," and the mature humor was fart jokes. And every
farts are funny though.
In every cartoon that's come out, they've got to have a fart joke. So I appreciate that they didn't do that. The other thing I really liked towards the end, I'm going to do spoiler territory here. So if you, so the whole thing with Tempest, the Darth Vader pony, is that she's a unicorn with a broken horn. All right,
she can still do magic.
And she can still do like crazy kind of, electric, like literally force lightning coming out of her forehead. And the whole reason she's helping the Storm King is, of course, he's made the villain promise that you get me what I want and I'll restore, MacGuffin X to you. So do what I say and I'll give you your horn back. And I liked that at the end. Now, naturally, anybody who's seen any of these movies or knows anything about kids' movies knows that, in the end, the bad one's going to turn good and we're going to, power of friendship, blah, 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 blah. But they didn't give her horn back. They didn't puss out and go, oh, but the power of friendship will make her not disfigured anymore. It's like, no, that's the way she is, and they accepted her for the way she was. And I was like...
Yeah, that is one thing about My Little Pony, is they do that kind of thing a lot.
Yeah, and I must applaud that. I thought that was... Because I was waiting for, I'm like, okay, we're through the power of magic and cupcakes and puppies.
And Grayskull.
And Grayskull, yeah, she's gonna get her horn back, and she's gonna be pretty, and everyone's gonna. But it's like, no, they didn't do that. She got a scar on her eye. They left it. So I was like, all right, you know what? Kudos to you, Pony Movie, for having some balls. Kudos to you.
The thing that I love about My Little Pony is it never takes itself too seriously. Like, because you have those warm, heartfelt little moments there, but there's always something else that just sort of shows, yeah, we're silly in a lot of ways, and we're not going to take this too seriously. But the episodes always teach some sort of lesson that is actually a good lesson to learn. So that is one thing that I love about it. Which
is something that's very foreign to me as a male child of the 80s. Because for the male children of the 80s, our lessons came in the PSAs at the end of G.I. Joe, which had nothing to do with the episode, just some bullshit they tacked on the end, where some bemuscled army man comes and teaches kids not to play with electrical wires. You know, that was, we didn't have like good morals.
Well, that's because you're boys. You more have to be told not to do things like sticking forks in electric sockets.
They also taught us not to be mean to the blind kid, because the blind kid would hear the cat meowing and could find the missing cat. Because people with sight can't hear things. But that's what G.I. Joe taught us. I wasn't even a fan of G.I. Joe. I was a Transformers guy myself.
Okay. Yeah, anyway. That wasn't what I watched. I watched Inspector Gadget.
Oh, everybody watched it. Inspector Gadget was awesome.
Inspector Gadget was awesome.
Yeah. But I will say this, and I mentioned this to you as we were going into the film, is that, you know, say what you will about it, but no movie based, you know, that continues the story of a kid's show into the movie, no movie quite tops the original Transformers, the movie, because I can't think of another one where the entire original cast is brutally slaughtered in the first 5 minutes.
I never saw it, so I don't know.
Boy, howdy. Boy, howdy. People like to say the death of Optimus Prime was their generation's Macbeth. I think it took place at least 15 minutes earlier, when at least 6 of the original cast, and they're not, I mean, when I say gunned down, I mean it. You know, bullet, you got smoke coming out the mouth. You know, that's the 80s, brother. Right there.
Well, kids in the 80s were able to take that kind of thing a lot better, apparently. I mean, they can still take it today. It's just that the adults believe they can't.
I was really waiting for one of the ponies to say shit like Spike did in Transformers the movie.
No,
none of them did.
They don't do that.
I was just waiting. Oh shit! What are we gonna do now?
But
like,
the fun thing is that they do make a lot of references to like 80s and early 90s stuff in My Little Pony that's kind of like for the adults. It's like, it's not necessarily, you know, it's not anything gross or anything, but it's just like something that it's going to go right over a kid's head because they don't know about it.
And one thing I will give, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I was, again, I'm a cynical man, so it was hurting.
No, really.
It was hurting me in certain areas, but, you know, the parents who brought their little girls to see it, it didn't seem like they were in any real physical pain. You know, like my parents were when they had to go see Care Bears and shit. I mean, it didn't seem like it wasn't a film that I think the parents are going to, like, want to hang themselves halfway through.
No, and I can imagine Care Bears.
You know, it's like, because I could hear the father, like, laughing a couple times. Actually, the cutest thing in the whole thing was not the movie. It was the one little girl just sitting right down. She's bouncing in her seat, like, when it starts. And there was this, I can't remember which moment it was. There was one of those all is lost moments, you know, and everything's, and then one of them goes like, no! It's like she was into it.
That was funny.
I think it's when they have the traditional, you know, friends have a fight scene.
Yeah, I think it was.
And they like the Princess Twilight says something really mean to Pinkie Pie. I'm sounding weird saying these names, and
it's funny.
And she's like, maybe I don't need a friend like you. And like she just says that
a lot less screechy.
And
Tara Strong has a much better voice.
And big eyes. And the one little girl goes, no! It's like she was into it, man. Which means they did their job. So I mean,
exactly. So
I mean that means they did what they set out to do. So you can't ask for more than that.
As a My Little Pony fan, I'm not going to say I just absolutely love this movie. Oh my god, it's fantastic. But I do like it.
And I'm going to say, I mean, I don't think, this is not going to make me a My Little Pony fan. This is not going to...
Oh, you should watch the show, though. There's so much good stuff about the show.
I will put it on my to-do list.
I'm sure you will.
I will. Would I lie?
If you have Netflix, it is actually on there.
And I don't, so...
Well, then you can find it on YouTube. That's where I watched it.
I'm good. I mean, I will do that, like, right away.
You can give it a chance.
I most certainly will. But here's the thing. Even though I don't think it hasn't turned me into a fan, I will say it was cute. It was entertaining enough. The songs were there.
Not the greatest example of songs.
They
to
were
be
some
honest.
pretty terrible songs.
Well, yeah, they don't always do the greatest ones in the show, but
Matter of fact, that was the part of it that most reminded me of the original My Little Ponies movie. It just kind of I've heard some of those songs from the original My Little generic
Ponies.
and really just kind of their songs, you know. But anyway,
the original My Little Pony makes these songs look like Grammy winners.
Well,
oh my god!
Considering Grammy's not really an award, I mean, that's not saying much, but you know.
But it's not an award.
Remind me to talk to you about the music industry sometime.
Whatever. Anyway.
So, anyway, but entertaining enough, colorful, and like I say, the animation's freaking gorgeous. Like it was you were never visually bored with it. And, you know, so I mean, good enough. I'm not I've seen worse.
Well, I'm still a huge fan of this show. So, but this movie wasn't, it wasn't the best example, in my opinion, of My Little Pony. So that's my opinion. But I'm not regretting seeing it. Like, I'm not regretting that you bought the ticket for it, like I was regretting that you bought the ticket for American Assassin.
I've done so many of these. I can't regret buying tickets anymore.
That's true. You've invested a lot of money in this.
It's a waste of time. Just do it. I need somebody to sponsor these videos so I can write these tickets off on my taxes. Anyway, so fun enough, entertaining enough, enjoyable enough. If you got kids, go see it. If you're a fan of the show, obviously you're going to enjoy it. If you're like me. If you're like me, I'm sorry, because that's no way to live.
If you're like him, even something like ponies can melt your cold, dead heart just
When
a
did
little.
I say that? When did I say that?
You actually gave it a semi-positive review.
All right, yeah, well, I'm just being honest. Doesn't mean...
Which is really funny coming from me, considering I'm one of the most pessimistic people ever. But, I really like My Little Pony.
Anyway. So thank you to Marianne for once again joining us here. And Fall Break at the Movies still has a couple shots I'm going to try to do. So until next time, drive safe, and we will see you at the movies. Very good.